Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja 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 Abarera Legos Ram Abarera Nikos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja 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 Abarera Nikos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja
Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the Malice Experience. I'm, of course, Mr. Malice, or Addius Dade, whichever direction you choose to go with that. Welcome to the shit show. Hope you are all well. Okay. As you can see, we've got a new overlay. Okay. I redesigned the whole thing. And below us, or below
devil,
me,
I like that devil.
right? I think it looks good. Everybody's favorite bottom, this time in the pool, Mystic Salon.
Yes.
Getting nudie for everybody. Yeah, we're hoping by integrating the whole hot tub pool stream thing, we're going to increase our viewership. So
Yeah, wrong person to do that for. You're chasing viewers away. Oh my!
Did you just say chasing? Did you say chasing beavers away?
Oh, that too, probably. Damn beavers, man! I'm telling you, can't live with them, can't live without them. No, what I was gonna say is, if you notice, my face keeps going really and fucking crazy. It's because I'm still having extreme cramps in both of my legs. So.
Yep, he's having cramps in all of his legs.
All of them.
All of them. Even the
ones
third
that I don't
one.
want. Third and fourth.
Damn. So, Curse, I saw in the chat there. You said you went to Salem. What'd you do in Salem?
Yeah, that looks cool as fuck.
I want to hear this. I want to know what Curse did in Salem. I want to go to Salem.
Oh, me too. I would love to. That'd be a dream. We got to do that.
Right. So, yeah.
It's not cool.
It's not cold. It's not cold.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of the pool.
Jesus. I don't think it's the pool. This is not funny, asshole. Okay, I think I'm crisis averted.
Shop witchy things like tarot and crystals and eat good food. Awesome.
That does sound fun.
I'm 100% down for that, Aaron. Malice Experience meetup in Salem, Massachusetts next Halloween. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Let's do it.
Calendar that shit. I will go.
Serious. We'll set it up. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Fuck.
So, Mystic, I was gonna ask if you had like a tarot deck for us today, but I'm worried about like if you start working with a tarot deck, if you're gonna drown. Oracle of the Witch. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
It's the Oracle of the Witch. So this is very simple. I gotta dry my hand off again, so that I can get a couple of the cards.
Yep. He's got to dry his hand off. Everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
It's wet, babes.
too much lotion.
Not enough lotion for this ocean.
God damn.
So this is a really cool deck. So if you've heard of Seasons of the Witch, pretty popular Oracle deck, especially around Halloween time. This is Oracle of the Witch. There's quite a few series, and there's actually quite a few more coming out. So they're doing like a Beltane version. There's going to be a Mabon version. There's so multiple different versions of these decks as part of obviously Oracle of the Season or Season of the Witch.
Right.
So this is an Oracle deck. I don't know how well you can see it. Hopefully you can. It is a red foil edge.
Nice.
Like yeah.
That.
And they're trichrome, so you got red, white, black, and the majority of the cards. So
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna pull a couple here. They're very easy to read. I've never actually done a full read for somebody on them, but I've been through them quite a few times. And they're listed initially as like deities. So for example, if Diana as the one card,
Mm-hmm.
pretty neat, little tame, I would say, on the imagery. But then already with Hecate, of course, you can start seeing the imagery change a little bit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Acadia Oracle. This one is a cool one. This is almost, to me, this could be a really good tattoo.
Oh, that is cool. I like that.
Yeah. You've got Midwife, you've got Crystal. So then it goes on to things like Herb Garden and the old ones. And each one has a keyword on it, which again, I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. I just want to see the image and see how the image makes me feel. But this deck is very witch oriented. It's very occult oriented. And I really just like how it's relatively simple. But that's what you really want in an Oracle deck. You want to have your, working with intuition. You're going to have your intuition guide you based on what the images see and what energies you feel as you pull it. So to me, it's a really neat deck, especially for a collector. It is by, let me see who it's by real quick. Flavia Kate Peters, which the name Flavia is always amazing to me. And, oh God, Barbara Mickle John Free.
Mickle John free?
Yes. Her.
We're gonna mickle your pickle and let the John free.
That is exactly what we're doing tonight. Anybody want to come over to our pool? Just kidding. It reminds me of my favorite joke. Welcome to our ool. Notice there's no P in it.
I got
All
you.
right, so let me shuffle a little bit. We'll pull a couple of cards. Anybody familiar with this deck or the Seasons of the Witch? Because if you have Seasons of the Witch and you like it, this is a good second one. Okay, it's hard to shuffle in a pool, y'all.
I could imagine. Though I must say, like the water and the candles in the back and the reflection of the candles into the water, it looking pretty. It's pretty serene.
It is very serene. I'm wondering if anybody thinks we're raising a water double over here.
You never know.
Yeah, we've got
the night's still young.
Behind us, and you might hear a little bit of noise as they're whistling and stuff. There's a school behind us with some sports events things going on, and they can get a little rowdy, but it's kind of nice. So, all right, first card. Oh, he's sexy. Pentagram.
Nice.
I mean, seriously, we're talking about Samhain. Can you get a better first card than Pentagram?
Right. With Milner.
With yes.
Around the neck.
Yeah, honestly, I can't even read the keyword on the card. It's just too dark out here. But I mean, right away from this, when we talk about pentagram, we know that's one of the many symbols, and that symbol can be changed or adulterated in many ways. But ultimately, what it represents is truly the pagan 5 pieces of element. You have air, fire, water, earth, and spirit. So the focus truly is on that. And this fits right in with our topic from an energy perspective. That's the true balance. It's not left, right, up, down, big, small. It's all of it together in harmony and balance, working, as a single unit. So it's really important, more so this year than any other thus far, to be in balance and paying attention to all the different pieces. Second card is Witch's Script.
That feels like it also fits.
It does. And, Witch's Script, that's actually the Witch's alphabet right there. There's a name for it. I can't remember what it's called. Separate from runes and all those things, it's its own alphabet. I actually have learned how to write it and read it, so it's pretty cool.
There you go.
Theban, thank you. It's Theban. And if anybody's interested, you can actually download Theban as a font on your computer, and you can learn it that way. That's how I learned it. It's a lot quicker. But the Theban alphabet was designed for those to, have communications and write their things down so that they could be held secret. And in the beginning, well, not in the beginning, even sometimes now, it's really important to maintain some of those secrets for yourself, yes. Right? There's a theory to that. Like, you can certainly be open, and it's easier to be out of the broom closet as a witch now. But some things really do have power and secrecy, especially personally. So keep your secrets right now. Don't share them. They're your power. Thirdly, God, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, Coven.
There we go.
So this is the time for coven work. We talked about this before. Just because you are a solitary practitioner does not mean it's not appropriate and or good measure to group work sometimes, whether it's a coven or a group or a Keith, as we call our group, and just doing that work together is really important. So do some group work. Be balanced, and not just balanced in 2 poles. Be balanced on all 5. Oh, 5 poles. That sounds fun. And I think that's really the message.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How's the cramps going?
They're not any better. That's why I'm swimming around a little bit.
I mean, I can definitely vibe with that. And there's also, like, with the topic that we're going to be talking about this evening, we're going to be covering a few people that are a few groups of people rather that are making heavy waves in the anti-Halloween community.
Why is that even a thing? That's just stupid.
People are dumb. That's why.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, that's the only honest explanation that I can think of. It's just people are dumb. Sorry, but they are.
I agree.
So, but before we get into that, I got an announcement. So for those of you that are not following me on Facebook or any other social media except for here, one thing I kind of wanted to put out there really quick is the published date on the book and the Oracle deck is getting pushed back. Now I'm going to explain why this is. So the book is currently sitting at roughly about 27,000 words, right? For the publishing company that I want to go through, that I'm hoping to get picks it up, the manuscript needs, for the type of book that it is, it needs to be a minimum of 50,000 words. Minimum. So I need to figure out how I can add some more to the book without it being just pure fluff.
Add a chapter of card descriptions.
That was an idea that had occurred to me, yes.
Not telling what it means, just describe it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then the second reason is because my dumb genius ass decided to completely change the design style that I was going for the Oracle deck. And I thought that I gave myself enough time when I decided to switch it, that there was enough time for me to finish all 30 cards, and I'm sitting at about 10 cards right now, so I got 20 cards that I still have to design. And that switch happened because, like I think I've explained to you guys before, the original designs, though, yes, I like them. they don't speak to me in the way that the new designs do.
Still mad.
I look at those cards, like those original designs, and it feels empty. It feels, it doesn't feel the way that it's supposed to. And these new ones, I'm digging a lot deeper and pulling from like a much darker, more personal space to make these cards. And these are the cards that I'm supposed to be making. So basically, I'm pushing the publishing back because honestly, for all of you that believe in me, believe in what it is that I'm trying to do, I want to be able to provide you guys with the best possible product, a product that I myself am proud of, and therefore I know that you will be proud to own. So I just want to make sure that I do this right. I don't want to cut any corners. I don't want to make it go faster than it's supposed to be. I want it to be the best possible quality. So I just ask you guys to be patient with the process. Updates will still happen through Patreon, and anybody that wants an update, that has paid their part, all you have to do is ask, and I'll be more than happy to provide updates to you guys. But I just wanted to throw that out there. So just so everybody knows what the deal is, what's going on, right? So there's that part of it. Now to the ridiculousness that is this evening.
I actually read this article twice because I'm like, yeah, it sounds like somebody got really bored, to be honest, and then just came up with something. Well, let's just write this. I mean, I don't know how much of it's even true, but it's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's so silly. It's so simple too, but just. Ugh.
So basically, I'm going to read some of this article so you guys get the vibe of what Mystic is talking about here. So it says, first there was the war on Christmas, then came the war on Thanksgiving. Now the stage is set for a spooky new holiday battle, Halloween. Notably, the clash is marked by an unlikely alliance between religious activists and progressive parents, who are both determined to end Halloween celebrations, although for different reasons. Right? Welcome to the war on Halloween. Time to cancel Halloween, ? The state of Pennsylvania is home to some of history's most hallowed battle sites, and Montgomery County appears to be continuing that tradition. The Lower Marion School District in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, recently announced that its annual school Halloween parade, a tradition that goes back at least 50 years, is over. Parents received letters in the mail on October 7th informing them that the parades of all 6 of the district's elementary schools are canceled due to concerns that the parade is simply not inclusive enough. That's a tangent we're going to go down in a minute here, all right?
That is a new one for me. I did not realize Halloween was non-inclusive.
I know, right?
Like only ghosts are allowed, no Frankensteins?
Right. First, there are concerns for the safety and security of students parading outside among a crowd of unscreened adults in our field, explained the director of the school and community relations. Another reason for canceling the parade is the lack of inclusivity of students whose families do not celebrate Halloween for religious or cultural reasons.
Then don't participate.
So I mean, it seems fucking ass backwards. So you're gonna be completely uninclusive yourself of the people that do celebrate it for the people that don't celebrate it.
I mean, the only thing that I can understand with it is the fact that it's a public school doing it. So, I mean, I can understand where they're coming from. Like public schools, maybe they feel shouldn't be a part of it, but it still doesn't make sense because, I mean, Halloween is not one of those. It's not a. I hate to say this, but in general, it's not a meaningful holiday.
It's not for most people. It isn't.
It's not Samhain. We certainly shouldn't. Witches shouldn't be mad at it or a cult because it has nothing to do with Samhain. Like nothing.
Uh-huh.
So what's the deal? Like that's what I couldn't figure out when I was reading it. It's like I don't understand what's to be mad about. It's literally about candy and trick or treating. Like that's what Halloween is. It's not even scary spooky. It's just spooky. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Spoopy even. So I just don't get it.
So, okay, let's continue. So the next section here is parents fume. Parents, many of whom experienced the very same parade when they were kids, did not take kindly to the news. I feel like it's just crossing the line, and where does it end? Pondering Linda Joseph. Two first names. Okay. A parent in the school district. So next people are going to be offended by pumpkins. So we're going to take away pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns or pumpkin carving? Will they be canceling recess, school sports, soccer, baseball, lacrosse? What about kids who don't make those teams? Asked Linda Fox, another local parent. Are they no longer inclusive?
How dare they?
Right. A growing movement. So the incident mirrors similar. Hold on a second. I'm getting old, people.
So
I need to zoom in on this. I'm getting old. There we go. Now I can read. The incident mirrors similar incidents of schools canceling or suspending Halloween celebrations out of concern that they leave some students feeling excluded and risks spreading cultural appropriation, among other things. So, I'm unpopular opinion here. Unpopular opinion here. Okay? I personally feel that some things are done in cultural celebration, not cultural appropriation. Okay? Now, I can understand kind of like the gimmicky, like, costumes for like Native American costumes, things like that, you know, that were popular back in like, I guess, the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Right? I think we've kind of moved past that, you know.
I need vodka.
He said it. He needs vodka.
Vodka?
So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. That is a phrase that has always bothered the shit out of me. Right?
What, we need vodka?
No, cultural appropriation. It's always irritated. It's always irritated the shit out of me for different reasons. But we're not going to go down there. But anyway, last year, Seattle Elementary School canceled its own Halloween parade after parents and administrators decided it wasn't inclusive enough. Historically, the pumpkin parade marginalizes students of color who do not celebrate the holiday, explained the Seattle Public Schools spokeswoman at the time. Here's the thing, like, if somebody decides not to celebrate it, then don't fucking celebrate it. Like, that's your prerogative. Right? I can't think of off the top of my head any kid that doesn't want to celebrate Halloween. If a kid doesn't celebrate Halloween, it's not the kid not celebrating. It's free fucking candy. What kid doesn't want to celebrate Halloween? If the kid's not celebrating Halloween, it's not the kid, it's the parents. And if it's the parents' prerogative that their kids don't celebrate Halloween, that's on them. Don't fuck it up for everybody else. That's just my opinion. Okay. So in alliance with SPS's unwavering commitment to students of color, specifically African American males, the staff is committed to supplanting the pumpkin parade with more inclusive and educational opportunities during the school day. Exactly. Citing a lack of actual complaints about Halloween, critics have argued that canceling the celebrations for fear of causing offense is a good example of administrators looking for solutions to problems that don't really exist. I completely
agree. Looking for problems to solutions is what we call that.
So I'm going to be honest. So that this one part. So canceling celebrations for fear of causing offense. For fear of causing offense. So this is something I guess maybe. I mean, Mystic and I have talked about this in the past. We differ on opinion in this. I personally don't care if I offend you. I'm not going to intentionally go out of my way to try to offend you. I'm I'm not going to do that. But if something that is part of me offends you, right? And if it comes from like a logical place, I know you, we're friends, things like that, I'll listen. Doesn't mean I'm going to change my perspective, but I'll listen. But generally speaking, for the public at large, if I offend you, I don't care. Open speech, the ability to exchange ideas, inevitably means that you're eventually going to offend somebody. Somebody's going to get offended by something you think or say somewhere down the line. That does not necessarily mean that you have to change what it is that you think or believe just because somebody else got offended. That's just my perspective. And you see how Mystic is kind of swinging back and forth and running it through the track. We've had this conversation before, and I know we completely disagree on this, but
I wouldn't say we completely disagree. It depends on where you define, and this is where we truly we're talking about that difference is where do you define or how do you define offense, right? So when somebody says I'm offended, sometimes they're saying they're offended when they're really saying is I'm irritated, I'm annoyed, I don't like you, you're ugly. And they're not really utilizing the term offense properly. If I do something that totally offends somebody that I care about or somebody that I know, or even somebody that I don't know, I wouldn't immediately not give a fuck. I would want to know why. Why does this offend you? Oh, because you thought I meant it that way? That's not what I meant. You know, there's a reason why that emotion, every emotion, good or bad, however you label it, has a place and a purpose. And so there's something to say for offense, but that's not the same thing as having you change or stop being who you are because it's offensive. For example, there's a lot, like for me, I try very hard to not say that I am smudging, because that's a different practice than cleansing with smoke. They're two different things. Smudging is a specific practice. I don't know how to do smudging. I don't know how to do that practice. So when I was alerted by somebody that was offended by it, I said, okay, well, what do you mean? They explained it to me and said, well, you know, smudging is a very sacred practice. And when we hear other people say it, it feels wrong. It feels uncomfortable. And no, you don't have to change it. You can continue using it as much as you want. Nothing I can do can change on that, but it would be better for me. And you know what? If I'm going to be around that person, then I'm going to adjust that behavior, because it does not take a lot of energy for me to adjust the words that I say or to learn from it. Now, if who I am offends you, my tattoos offend you, my piercing offends you, my hair, my gayness, not my anus, but my gayness offends you, then fuck off. You know what I mean? It's really situational, and that's I think ultimately many people are going to probably agree with that to a degree. But the way people are using the word offense, that's not what they're saying. They're saying
I think
it's not offense. It's I can't control that. They're mad because they want to control other things.
Obviously, I think that there are things that are just generally offensive in society, like, you know, racism, sexism, you know, misogyny, things like that. Those are generally, you know, offensive behaviors and actions. But, you know, for example, you know, my being, you know, left-hand path, or like, you know, Mystic said, my having tattoos or piercings or wearing Milnir, you know, and all of these different things. If like aspects of who I am as a person, which loving Halloween is one of them, if that offends you, I really don't care. I don't care.
I don't either. I'm with you on this one.
Like, I don't give a shit. Now, I agree that there are things that are just generally offensive in society, but
what would you do? Like, I don't get offended about Christmas. I cannot stand red and green together. That's why I don't like Christmas mostly, and because, you know, that's where all my abandonment issues lay, is with family and Christmas, which is probably pretty popular theme for many of us.
Yep.
You know, but ultimately, it's not. Christmas doesn't offend me. I don't want you to stop Christmas. If I'm going to do something, I am certainly getting more loud and open with my personal Yule practice. You know, don't you just love Christmas? No, I really like Yule. I like burning shit and hailing Satan. What do you like?
Well, that was a thing that kind of irritated me too. Like back in the day when people were getting all fucking flustered about, people saying Merry Christmas. It's like, dude, just let people say Merry
God.
Christmas. Dude, just shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, they say Merry Christmas, you say Happy Holidays. You say what you want to say, let other people say what they want to say. Like, who gives a shit?
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's not inclusive enough. Who fucking cares? Like,
yeah. I like what A Sad World writes. You try not to disrespect or offend people, but you can't make that your mission. If you make it your mission, you'll fail. There's just no way around it. But if somebody doesn't want to, guide you or even say anything, then that's is what it is.
It's like, so an example of being generally offensive, and sadly, for someone that is supposedly supposed to be a highly intelligent individual, being completely unaware of the fact that the comments that this individual made is offensive, Kanye West.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Ann.
Right? Right?
That offends me.
Like, Kanye is a perfect example of somebody that it just is blatantly offensive, and apparent for all apparent logic is unaware of the fact that he's being offensive.
Yes, very true. But and that's a different kind of offensive too. Like you were talking about, I do worry about offending people to a degree, but when it comes to things like holidays, when it comes to me being me, like, I'll be honest, I've had another issue at work very recently related to somebody making a comment about my tattoos at work. And I'm like, if you think that I'm less professional and less of who I am and what I do because of tattoos, then I do not want to work anywhere fucking near you. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
Because that if that's what offends you, fuck off.
Yeah.
For real.
All right, so let's keep reading this here. I'm squeaking, people.
God.
Sorry. God damn. All right. But interestingly, this new breed of Halloween critic has a very unlikely ally in the fight to cancel Halloween. Conservative Christians. Here comes the fun part. This is the one we're all used to, people. Certain faith leaders have long condemned Halloween as a celebration of the occult and a distraction from Jesus' teachings. But this year has brought renewed fears from some parents who argue that Halloween is an unholy pagan celebration that might claim your child's very soul.
Oh my God.
Please.
That's when I started losing it. I told you I had to read it twice. I'm like, did they really put that in there? Like,
yeah.
Like, seriously?
Please ask yourself if not only your mind, but your child's minds are strong enough to ward off the hypnotization and bewitching trance that will be coming through the screen to aid in the desensitization of the coming evil in this world. Oh, for fuck's sake. Wow.
Dude, I love it. That means that they're starting to realize that we actually are powerful and can do stuff. So that's kind of cool.
There you go.
They get nervous.
Right? Warned concerned mother Jamie Gooch.
Yeah. Rough
fucking name.
Gooch. There's a place in Virginia called Goochland.
Goochland is between the
Between the anus and the... Shut up.
In a Facebook post that went viral earlier this month, don't fall victim to the schemes of hell. The movie entrancing children into a satanic lifestyle, the new Disney Plus release Hocus Pocus 2, which is absolute shit, by the way. It's an absolute shit movie. I watched it. I don't like it. I prefer the original. Maybe I'm just old, but, that's just, yeah.
I don't care if it's bad. You're not allowed to say it. That offends me. You're canceled.
So let's see. A Texas mom's warning about the new Disney film Hocus Pocus 2 has some parents rethinking their Halloween viewing plans. In a viral interview with the local news station, Jamie Gooch insists that the witchcraft-themed flick poses a grave spiritual danger to children due to its occult content. You pose a great threat to their mental health. So, I mean, which is worse? Do not watch this film, she warns. Everybody thinks it's fake and innocent, but they could be casting any type of spell they want to. Anything could be coming through the T. Oh, my God.
Anybody seen Halloween 3 much?
Oh. Oh, okay. At
Spoilers
first,
in the
at first glance, one might mistake this theory for the plot of a B-level horror movie, a sinister force corrupting children through the warming glow of the television. That actually doesn't sound half bad. I would watch that movie.
Halloween 3, man, I'm telling you.
Right, but the threat is real, insists Gooch. How can you be taken seriously with the name Gooch? Like, who the fuck is gonna take you, Mrs. Gooch?
What was that other one that
And many of her fellow believers are echoing the warning. So what comes next for Halloween? The holiday remains beloved by children and adults everywhere, but these rumblings of reform leave the future of spooky season in doubt. Wiccan and pagan groups have long criticized the way that Halloween has been commercialized and divorced from its true history. And now we have religious conservatives and progressive activists aligning against the holiday. Two groups that rarely agree on anything, and yet here they are, agreeing that Halloween ought to make like a witch's spell and disappear. Regardless of the reasoning, the calls to change or cancel Halloween appear to be growing louder.
Gucci Gucci Goo?
Oh my goodness. So,
The Hoochie Coochie Coos. I love it. Oh my god. I gotta stop watching chat.
So, obviously, when it comes to the religious side of things, the Christian side of this, we're really not looking at anything different that we haven't fucking dealt with in years past. I'm going to be completely honest. It doesn't sound any different. Now they're just attacking different things. Now it's not just the costumes, but it's the movies and things like that. The Christian right will always find something to bitch about. You know, like, you know, how bad music is, how bad video games are. Blame anything but themselves for their kids being fucked up. You know, it's right. And instead of looking at themselves, right, and saying, "Hey, am I a good parent?" Nope. It's the music, it's the movies, it's the video games, it's the friends, it's the teachers. Anything but me is the fucking problem. I think if you're a parent and you are a right-wing Christian, I think if your kid is fucked up and has problems, I think the first thing you should do is look in the mirror and ask, are you actually a good parent? Right? That's the first thing you should look at before you start blaming the rest of the world around you. You know, so there goes that. So I don't think we're seeing anything really different from the Christian right. It's the same shit that we've seen for years and years and years, and Halloween is still here. The aspect of Halloween not being inclusive enough based on the idea of people that don't celebrate it. Especially because we're primarily talking about children. We're talking about elementary school children. Like I said, if we look at this logically, it's free fucking candy. It's free candy. There is not a single child on this planet that would not enjoy celebrating Halloween as the commercial holiday that it is, based on getting free candy. Okay.
Even young Sheldon.
Exactly. I think a young Sheldon, for you know, I think he would be down for it too. You know,
He was.
Mm-hmm. So, if you have a child in elementary school that isn't celebrating Halloween, I can almost promise you, I can almost guarantee you with the utmost certainty that it is not the child that is choosing not to celebrate Halloween, but the parents, probably the same fucking parents we're talking about in the Christian right here, that are choosing not to celebrate the holiday for whatever reason it might be. Now, the vast majority of people still celebrate Halloween. The majority of people celebrate Halloween. I do not think that we should be forcing cancelization of a holiday that is celebrated by the mass majority because of a few people that choose not to celebrate it. Find other activities that are non-Halloween related that they can participate in, but still be in kind of in tandem with the with the holiday in general, right? Instead of canceling the whole fucking thing and making everybody miserable. Like, that's just, you know, my take on it, right? Halloween has always been something since I was a kid. I've been in love with the whole season. You know, the changing of the changing of the trees, the reds, the yellows, the oranges. You know, all of those things have been things that I have been obsessed with since I was a kid. Pumpkin carving, pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice coffee. I'm all for it, the whole thing. And very little about the season really has anything to do with Halloween. It's something to do with the feeling of the season, that relaxing, the weather, everything is just so much just beautiful about the season. And to try to be killing that emotion, to try to be destroying that for people so they no longer enjoy it, I think it's a very irresponsible thing to do. And I'm going to be honest, like if these people truly want to cancel Halloween, the commercialized version of it, then I think us as members of the occult should take a step up and say, okay, if you want to cancel the commercialized version of it that everybody celebrates,
when it is,
in an XYZ manner, then I want Samhain. I demand that Samhain be recognized nationally as an actual holiday, just the same as Christmas. And I refuse to work on that day.
I take it off every year.
So no, but I want it federally given to me.
Yeah, good luck.
All right. So if you're going to remove the commercialized version of it that we all love celebrating together as family, whether you're pagan or non-pagan, fine, take it away. But I demand that Samhain be recognized as an actual national holiday.
Even if it is, they're not going to give it to y'all.
So that's just my take on it. We celebrate it anyway. We celebrate, Samhain either way, regardless of the actual commercial holiday of Halloween. But the fact that it just seems so irresponsible to me that it's just being attacked the way that it is. Dia de los Muertos should also be recognized, right? Dia de los Muertos should also be recognized. You have to figure, like, a large portion of the population in the United States, a large portion are Mexican. And Dia de los Muertos is a nationally recognized holiday in Mexico. People don't work on Dia de los Muertos. The 2nd of November, nobody works. So I think that should also be recognized. Only recognizing, I think only recognizing the family-friendly Christian holidays as national holidays. You want to talk about inclusivity and not being inclusive? You're not being inclusive to us. And let's face it, folks, okay, those of us that have practiced the occult, we are the minority in this situation, okay? We are the few. And our beliefs are not being respected. The United States, which is not a Christian nation, it is not a Christian nation. Let's understand. I'm going to repeat that one more time. The United States is not a Christian nation. But the only holidays that are nationally recognized and given to you free, you don't have to work, are the Christian ones. Something's wrong with that. It's fucked.
It is. There's not much to say on that. I mean, it is what it is.
I don't have a problem with people taking Christmas off. I don't have a problem with people taking Easter off. I don't have a problem with it. But I want my shit off too.
I have a problem with them having a problem with mine.
Exactly. I have a problem with them having a problem with mine. You're a Christian, you want to take Christmas off? That's fine. Go for it. You're a Christian, you want to take Easter off? That's fine. Go for it. Right? You want to practice Lent? You want to eat fish on fucking Fridays? Do your thing. I don't care. If that's what fulfills you and makes you feel good, that's fine. But don't come attack my shit and tell me that my shit isn't legitimate. No. No, I don't accept it. I don't accept it. It's wrong. It is wrong. And the thing is, if you look at it, if I'm not mistaken, Wicca was recognized by the military, right, as an actual religion.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So
Pagan and Wiccan are both recognized now.
So paganism and Wicca are both recognized, at the very least, by the United States military, which is a federal extension of the United States government. Therefore, the holidays that we celebrate, Samhain being included, should be afforded to us as a paid holiday.
Yeah.
You guys are only doing half the work. Talking about the U.S. government here. You guys are only doing half the fucking work. Recognizing the religion itself, big step forward, not enough.
Oh yes, the outrage would be glorious.
So I think I'm going to actually. This wasn't the intention of this. This was just the kind of like the intention of this topic was to talk about it, laugh about it, and as we normally do. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think I am going to go that extra step, and I am going to see what steps I have to go through to kind of get this to kind of start pushing through. This is something that needs to change. So,
yep.
I will start with the state of New York, which is where I'm from, and let's see if we can change something. Because I believe in all of you guys, and I believe every single one of you would be behind me on this. So let's start with Samhain. Let's start with the big one, and let's see what we can do.
And we only have 8. At least we do.
So, because the more that I'm thinking about this, the more this actually kind of irritates me. Because they want to sit here and they want to talk about inclusivity. They want to cancel Halloween because it's not inclusive. But what about the Christian right not being inclusive to the fact that a nationally recognized religion, that the holidays are not allowed to be taken off with pay, like Christmas is, or New Year. So, yeah, I think I'm definitely this is definitely a hill that I would be willing to die on. This is definitely a hill that I would be willing to die on.
It's a good hill.
There's not many hills that I'm willing to take a stand on and say I'm going to die on this hill, but this is definitely a hill that I'm willing to die on.
Do L3.
So, well, that's the thing. That's the thing. So, I mean, I think Halloween is the perfect time to be inclusive, right?
I agree.
If my 8-year-old son came to me, and said, "Hey, I want to be a Disney princess for Halloween," I might sigh a little bit, but I'm going to help the boy out with it. You know what I mean? I'm going to go with it. I think the thing is Halloween's kind of like that. It's a safe time to kind of experiment and express who you are as a person. Whether it be for fun or more serious reasons.
What I loved about Halloween was it was the only holiday that my family didn't fuck up for me. Yeah, there's no holiday things, no family events to go to, no
right
big deal. It was always low key. It was basically fall celebration with pumpkins and candy. And it was good that way.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun. I have fun with the, the pumpkin carving and shit like that, which is actually something that I forgot to do today. I was going to get pumpkins for us to carve them. I forgot to do it. I'm going to have to get those later on. But yeah, this is definitely something that needs to be looked at. Now, I mean, I can understand people's, offense to certain costumes. I can see that certain costumes could be misconstrued as being offensive. But, I also think that I'm the type of person to think that if you are offended by something, generally speaking, that's your problem, not mine, because you're the one that's offended. You're the one that's feeling the emotion of being offended, not me. People dress up like witches all the goddamn time. I don't find it offensive. I'm not going off the fucking, off the rails because people are wearing pointy hats.
Maybe we should be.
You think so?
Those hats are ugly.
They are.
No, I don't think so, truly.
I think,
It's gotten cold out. Only.
Did people see the picture of someone dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer? Of course there's going to be people dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer. Of course it's going to happen. I've seen people in the past dressed like Charles Manson. I've seen people do those looks before. There's a reason it's called spooky season. What's scarier than a fucking serial killer? Not much.
Yeah,
Not
Dahmer's
much.
a pretty spooky guy.
Yeah,
Think about it.
And most serial killers are very polarizing personalities. Ted Bundy, fucking fucking John Wayne Gacy, Charles Manson, all of these people, they're very polarizing personalities, they're very strong personalities, and then they do instill fear, the thing is, you don't see William Shatner getting pissed off that everybody's dressing up like, fucking the shadow from fucking, or the shade from Halloween, which I think is the actual
Shape.
name.
Yeah.
So it's all inside of creativity. You know what I mean? It's that's what it is. And here we're still talking about the commercialized side of of Halloween, right? That's the commercialized side of it, right? The commercialized side is the costumes and the candy, and that has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Samhain.
Nope.
So it's just I don't know, man. Like, and the thing is, it's like everybody's gonna find something to be offended about. Like, if you wear like a mask, somebody can misconstrue you're wearing a mask as a bad event that had happened in their life, that somebody in their life that abused them wore a mask when they were abused. It's like you can't protect everybody. Sometimes you have to deal with your shit. If you're one of those people that's offended by every little thing that has nothing to do with you, that you're like one of those people that are offended for other people.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, maybe you should just stay the fuck home. I remember it was a couple years ago. There was this girl that I don't know if it was for prom or what it was. She bought a one of those traditional Chinese dresses, right? And the girl looked gorgeous in the dress. She looked amazing in the dress. And some non-Chinese Caucasian dipshits got offended and said that her wearing a traditional Chinese dress to prom was cultural appropriation. And it's like, dude, that is cultural celebration, right? Like that is cultural celebrate. That is celebrating a different culture. Just because you're not from a culture doesn't mean that you can't celebrate that culture. It's like saying that you're not Irish, so you can't drink Jamesons. Right? That it's the same concept, right? Or you're not a farmer, so you can't wear overalls. It's like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, there's always going to be those people. It's never going to change. But
Yeah.
they are certainly showing themselves a lot more lately than they used to. Like I said,
Mhm.
there's something to taking offense to something when there's a purpose, you know, it has a purpose, but this is not it.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's like there are things that, like, so for example, I can understand, you know, like blackface. We can all agree that blackface has deep-seated bad fucking history to it, right? And is
Mhm.
highly offensive, and nobody should do or try to do blackface. Trudeau. Um, so nobody should be trying to do that. There are certain things, there's certain lines that I think that we can all agree on. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be pushing that the Samhain aspect of things.
That'll be interesting.
So exactly, if I'm not Mexican, I can't. Exactly, people saying if you're not Mexican you can't celebrate Dia de los Muertos. Of course you can. I'm not Mexican, I celebrate Dia de los Muertos, right? It's about reconnecting the family. That's what it's about. People that you've lost in your past, that's what that's about. So I say, all of you, this spooky season, you do you. And if some jackass wants to get offended by what it is that you're doing, just give them the cold shoulder, laugh, and walk away, and keep doing you. Because as always, right? What do I always say on the show? What's the catchphrase of the show? Hail thy fucking self.
I thought you were going to say you do you, boo.
No, that is not the catchphrase of the show. That is something I do say a lot, but it is not directly connected to the show. And I'm glad this. I'm happy. Like, I'm seeing like all of the comments, in the chat here, and I'm very, pleased to see that, everyone is, on board with what it is that we're talking about. Mystic, do you got anything you want to add to this?
No. I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, you've already kind of hit all the topics. We've talked through it. It's just,
Yeah.
the only way you can really look at it at this point, from my perspective, is that it's not just the obvious commercialization of Halloween or anything else. It's just the commercialization of life itself in general. So it's just following along the same steps of everything else. And I do truly believe that a lot of the world is waking up underneath it, and kind of figuring out what they want to do. But there are some things that we have to consider and do it right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was one more thing. It's not really witch. I mean, it gets into Satanism and shit like that. But I thought that this was funny. So who has seen the new Reebok sneakers that kind of go back to? I think it's like what monks usually wear. It separates the big toe from the rest of the. Got like a little notch where your big toe goes and the rest of the toes go.
It freaked me out. Don't like it.
It freaks you out?
Yes. That's called a
Okay.
flip flop, and if it's not a flip flop open shoe, then I don't want it.
Well, so there's those types, that style of shoes is used like a lot by monks and things like that. I guess it's really good for like toes and shit.
Like toe socks freak me out.
But but of course, right? There are people. There's always people, right?
Out.
Reebok's new sneakers have the Baphomet goat feet. The rulers of this world show more and more openly and clearly who they worship. Make sure to open your eyes and don't be caught up in their rituals.
Ooh, scary.
Oh. So, so these new Reebok shoes are satanic, I guess, apparently. you know.
Because of course they are, right?
Yeah, because of course, right? Because it looks like goat feet, apparently, right? And it's like,
it's that cloven hoof, man.
yeah. So it's just like, you've got to be kidding, man.
No camel toes allowed.
Yeah, exactly. No camel toes. Wait a minute. There's
No
nothing wrong
moose
with
knuckles.
There's nothing wrong
No
with moose
moose
knuckles.
knuckles.
There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is like, they didn't even get this pissed off at the Lil Nas X shoes, which were actually like satanic. Like, I think they actually had blood in them. I think.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Right? Yeah,
Red
like
bottom.
there's actual like blood in the sole or some shit, like of the Lil Nas X shoes that he did.
No. Yeah,
You know.
but no. That's terrible.
No, he did that too. It wasn't Adidas, it was Nike. He did it to some Nike shoes or some shit. But the thing is he didn't have permission from Nike to do it, or whatever shoe it was that he was using. Like, he didn't have actual permission from, you know, the shoe manufacturer to do that, like to resell the shoes and shit. So they shut him down. So whoever got a pair of those things are gonna be worth some fucking money. But then again, you know, I mean, also, I don't know if you guys remember this, but also Converse are satanic. Because, you know, the logo's a star and there's a circle around it. Right? So
I believe that before I believe anything else about it.
Right. So Converse are also satanic shoes, apparently. So, you know, that's a thing.
So stupid.
But also a Monster, apparently, that is also satanic, right? Because I guess, like, you know, the claw marks on the can, are supposed to be 666 in Hebrew or some shit. You know.
That's a new one on me.
Yeah, there's like a whole video that came out like 5 or 6 years ago. This woman at a convention talking about, you know how satanic Monster is. It's like, oh, at least I now know what my energy drink of choice is.
Monster.
You know, Taco Bell is Illuminati. Yeah, exactly. Like everything. Here's the thing, people. Everything is satanic. Everything is evil. Everything will kill you. So stop worrying about it and just enjoy it while you have it. Because I promise you, it's not going to be here forever. So stop worrying about it and just fucking enjoy it. Right? Enjoy Halloween. And if you're a Satanist, you know what? Enjoy fucking Christmas too. You get free shit if not for any other reason. Right? Enjoy fucking Christmas. No need to fight against it. Right? Enjoy the world and the people around you, right? So, there you go. Anyway, we're gonna jump in and do a short little after show special. All right. We're gonna deal with wrinkly old Mystic in the pool for a little bit longer in the Dick Sword. All right. And thank you guys for being here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this installment of the Malice Experience. I'm, of course, Mr. Malice. Everyone's favorite bottom right below me, Mystic Salon. Right? Wouldn't be the Malice Experience without him. All right? Love your fucking faces. You guys are fucking amazing. Hail thy fucking self. Peace the fuck out.